Okay, I'm going to talk you through now the March Assessment Point Revision Checklist, and this assessment is going to be all on Learning Outcome 3, which is to understand how data and information can be collected, stored and used. Each of these bullet points need you to be able to understand them and be able to apply them to a given context. Now naturally, you don't really understand all contexts in the world. Who would? But what you should have is enough knowledge to be able to say with confidence which of the following could be used and when. So first of all then, data. What is data? Data is raw facts and figures without context. It doesn't make sense. It's random bits of information. Information is data with context. So that is the same random bits of detail, but with some further context that's given to it. For instance, brown 9 could relate to absolutely anything. That's data. It could be brown hair, brown shoes, age 9. It could be brown eyes, brown hair, number 9 house. It could be anything. With information, it could be what house number does the person live at? Number 9. What coloured jumper were they wearing? Brown. What shoes were they wearing? Brown leather brogues. And suddenly that data becomes information because it's got context behind it. There are lots of different instances of this, such as car number plate systems or the postcode system. There is a variety. But what's important is that you're able to understand the key difference that data is raw facts and figures and information is raw facts and figures with a context. Then you need to understand these different data types. A data type is something, a way of describing the format of the data that we're collecting. So we have text, alphanumeric, that's a combination of letters and numbers, numeric, which is integer, real, currency, percentage, fraction, decimal, date and time, limited choice, which is a drop-down list, radio buttons or checklist, object, logic and boolean, yes, no, true, false. You need to understand what the data within each of these data types looks like and where it might be used. In an exam, you're likely to be given a paragraph and you're likely to be asked which data types are going to be used and given an example according to that context. What you can't do in an exam is just say some random data types. You have to have read the scenario and you have to be able to say, I think that the text data type will be used for the following information from that scenario, and it needs to be related to it. And that's the sort of thing that this March assessment point will be looking at, your ability to take each of these data types or some of these data types and apply them to any given context. So your ability to understand them, what they look like and when they might be used is absolutely paramount to you succeeding in getting a good grade in this assessment point. You then need to be able to go from what this data is, this raw facts and figures, and turn it into information. What information is. How data and information are related. Information is in context while data has no context. I think I've said that enough in the last couple of minutes. Information is data which has been coded, structured and has context. So you need to understand that we start off with data and it'll be in one of these formats, and when we give it context it becomes information. You then also need to know about these two bullet points at the bottom. The methods used to collect data and store information and the appropriateness of each of these in a given context. So you need to be able to say, I think an interview would be the best method to collect this data and why. And you need to say, oh, actually, I think that a survey would be the best way to collect data for this scenario and why. You also need to know that IT is used to support data collection and when it is appropriate to use IT over other methods. And the storage element, you need to be able to say what type of storage is going to be used. That might be from different types of storage, such as hard disk drive, to solid state drive, to memory sticks or thumb drives, to cloud storage, paper storage. It will vary. But that's your March assessment point revision list. That's it talked through. And now you must go away and revise those elements and make sure you are absolutely firm in the knowledge of when these might be used and how they are used and how they could be used in different contexts. Thank you for listening.